Marguerite Fair. Welcome to Laughter Talks, and we're looking for our guest this morning. Her name is Marty Elcan. Where do you think she could be? Marty, did you arrive yet? Hi, Marty.
Hello.
How are you? It's so lovely to see you this morning.
And you too. What a lovely background you have there. Is that at your house?
Well, actually, I've gotten very good at green screen and lighting.
Very nice.
Lots of, yeah, you can appreciate that as a photographer. Lots of effort to get here. So thank you for being here. You're such a talented woman. And what I'd like to do first, this is Marguerite Fair of Laughter Talks and your guest today. And let me introduce you and tell a little bit about you to our viewers. Now, Marty Elcan is a director member of the Directors Guild of America with extensive production experience in film. Some directors are technical directors and some are known as actors, directors, and this very talented woman is known as both. Good for you, an empowered woman, I love it. Working as an assistant director for over 25 years on such projects as Driving Miss Daisy, Steel Magnolias, 6 Feet Under, all my favorite shows, with directors like Steven Spielberg and Bethany Rooney and so many others that it's like you learned cinematography scenes to tell the best story with the most efficient cover, background, and you continue to act in film projects today. And I've seen your reels. You're fantastic.
Bless your heart. Thank you so much.
We're going to talk about that more later. And you're also an award-winning still photographer. So what I want to do is there's so much more, but we want to talk with you. That's why you're here today. So what I'd like to do is ask you, what are you up to now? And, share what's going on.
Well, obviously not a lot right now.
Yeah.
But I've been kind of going back between behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. In January, I got cast in a SAG National commercial, and then like just a few weeks later, I got hired on a show for BET, and we were just in prep mode when everything shut down.
Yeah.
Which has actually given me a lot of time to work on some other projects that are, percolating. I had written a script about a friend of mine who had a very bizarre marriage, and I'm working on the rewrites for that. And then there's a project that I had been called about directing several years ago. And I'm sorry, I'm going to turn down my.
Now next, I know with that I find myself as a creative that this particular time, don't you find it has pushed you more into the creative process as you're talking about? And I'm finding like with the Laughter Talk show, I like it better because I can talk to people all over. I have a gal going to be on the show from London next week. So it's like you can really, and it pushes the creativity. So I was looking, I mentioned Next of Kin because that so much impressed me reading about that. Now tell us the actors that were in there and how if people want to see it now, they can.
Well, that's a good question, but we had Octavia Spencer and Ed Begley Jr. and Bess Armstrong and Jeremy London and George Newbern and Kate Orsini, who's doing a ton of work right now. She was the star and the writer on it. Yeah. And Andrew Lockridge, who was just a wonderful child actor. He's grown up and now I think is, well, not grown up, but he's older now. He's not a child actor anymore, and he's pursuing some other things, but he was very talented. This was his first film, and I was just blown away with the wonderful work he did. It was great.
Wow, that's...
and as far as seeing it,
yeah,
good question. The producer was handling, I was just hired to direct it, but the producer was working on distribution and had a couple of sales agents working on it. And both of them, I think, went out of business or something. So I'm hoping that with all the streaming services and the lack of content out right now, and with, hey, Octavia Spencer just getting nominated for an Emmy.
Hello.
I'm hoping that it'll have a new life.
I think that's what's happening. Mm-hmm. The movies they're really looking for content, and right now, while people can't do all the things they want to, these great projects can now get seen. So that sounds like a wonderful, wonderful. How long did that take to shoot a project like that?
Well, it was a very low budget project. So my assistant director background came in very handy because because we had such a limited time with our 14-year-old who was about to start school. We had a 12-day window to shoot it. So that was really, I mean, to shoot a whole feature film and with the budget that we didn't have, it was, I had to know exactly what to shoot and what would cut together and to tell the story in as simple a way as I could, especially working with a 14-year-old. I had to work around his shorter hours. So it was a challenge, but I had the background to I had a blast. It was just it's so much fun.
That's where you really learn how valuable organizational skills are for everybody around you. They have to be extremely organized too to pull that together. And that's amazing. Now, if you don't mind, what I'd like to do right now is just stop a minute because I'm so grateful that you sent some files for me. I'd like to show a little bit of your acting and your director's reel, if I may. So we're just going to take a minute. Now, everybody, I want you to enjoy these director's reels, and just here they are.
Sorry. My damn kid took off in my car. I'd have killed him if the call hadn't come in.
Always a cop's kid, huh? Don't even get me started on mine.
What do we got?
Hit and run. Guy was doing about 40. Description's a black SUV.
Oh, great. Who doesn't have one of those?
A couple of witnesses. Wife over there got a partial. Last 3 digits were 653. Teenager, Caucasian, alone as far as anyone could tell.
Piles of scum. Ask me, we should lock them all up till they're 20.
Have you started making arrangements?
What arrangements?
You have to decide how long to leave her on life support.
He was just trying to help me figure out what's best for her.
Well, that would require knowing her, wouldn't it? Which he doesn't, and neither do you.
He'll come back. He needs you.
I doubt that.
I don't.
Well, where's his father?
I don't know. I have to figure out what to do with him.
Why is that your problem?
Well, he's my brother, technically.
I can't call my father.
Well, I know that it's a really horrible thing to have to tell someone.
I don't have the number.
We could just call information.
You have to have a name for that.
Oh, his life is going to change dramatically when he loses his mother, and he's alone.
Catherine, are you out of your mind? You can't put your life and, more importantly, your career on hold for a child you barely know.
Oh, Lord, what is going to happen to Jake? I don't know.
Where were you? I called and I called.
What happened?
She went into cardiac arrest. That's what happened.
Right, just remember, even if he is your biological father, you cannot control what happens.
Only how I react.
He does look like you.
Right? You okay?
Oh, yeah. He was making an appointment to put his dog down. It always gets me.
You poor thing.
Well, on a happier note, congratulations, Grandma.
You did not have to do that.
When is she due?
July. I'm gonna be a grandma in less than a year. Do you believe that? He was hot shit back then. He started a bar fight for a girl, Lucy. I mean, just to impress her. He broke a bar stool over the owner's back, and this big bouncer comes in. The guy is 7 feet tall. And I take the beer that I've got in my hand, my 6th of the night, I smashed the bouncer on his head. I mean, took him out cold. Sliced my hand wide open.
I'm sure.
Wow. Oh, wow. You know, really, when you sent me those, I was just blown away and it took me a while to be able to open them. I thank you for working with me.
Oh, thank you for
Get
trying.
them open.
How good.
Because it's just everything is, I love to look at things that are quality, that are really good visually. And everything you do as a director, I'm a new director I did my first feature film.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, I mean, it was super low budget, but I love to look at people that like know what they're doing because it helps me. Everything does help. Now, do you have, can I ask you this in fairness? What do you prefer doing, or does it vary? Do you like being a director more or an actress more?
That is a really good question, and why I'm schizophrenic today. I can't tell you, I have never had so much fun as directing that feature. I just, you know, my acting background, my photography background, the assistant director background where I had worked with so many amazing directors, all came together in one job. And I went, oh my God, this is what I'm meant to do. And I've really enjoyed the projects I've directed. I got to say, I started out in acting. I grew up in children's theater and moved out here and did plays, and then got into film production. And every once in a while, I would get cast in a part on something I was working on because the director liked me, thank goodness. And in the last I'll tell you what happened. I thought, you know, I can always go back to it when I'm older. And about 5 or 6 years ago, I woke up and said, hey, I'm older now. So I started going back to scene study and gosh, I started auditioning for short films, you know, just short projects, and got cast in, I think it was 15 of them. And I went, oh my God, this is really cool. And then, as I say, I did a commercial in January and did 3 more short films in January. It started off to be a really good year. What happened?
Yeah.
So I really, I have to say, I am just getting the biggest kick out of acting now because I've already had a career. You know, back when I moved out here and I was 20 years old, it was life or death. Yeah. And now I'm just having fun. So I have to say, I love directing, absolutely love directing, but I'm getting a real kick out of acting.
Yeah. Well, it's because you're a whole new person now. I think, you know, as we become goddesses, which I think we all have to own that, being goddesses, we change. And I think even our level of appreciation and gratitude shifts. Mm-hmm. And I think that everything, I know for me, because I'm 72 going on 35.
No way.
Yeah. So I really, I really believe in, well, I had a guest on the other day, and this is the secret. Here's the secret. I'm sharing it because you're a lot younger than I am. She said they did a study of people over 100 and up that live to be nice. And the one thing they all had in common without exception was movement. Mm-hmm. They kept doing things. They kept moving. And I am a person who really caught on to better health later in life. And I am just spiritual about it now. And it's very important, but now we can own it, embrace it. And I think and my motto is, my message to the world is, you're never too old to start over again. And people who say they can't do something, I don't even want to talk to them. Yes, you can.
I agree. You know, I worked on 6 Feet Under, and one of my favorite lines from the show, the son is complaining to the dead father, who he can talk to, you know, the business is failing, and this isn't working, and this isn't working, and I guess I should just give up. And the father says something along the lines of, you're not dead yet, you know, which I just listened to in my head over and over, you know.
That's a great teacher.
As long as you're 6 feet above ground and not 6 feet under, every day is an opportunity.
I saw the T-shirt. You're not dead yet.
Yeah.
It's really true because, and this is, it's actually harder for them now than for smaller people like me, because it would be very easy to social distance. In fact, I just finished a movie. I changed a play, Goddess Intervention, into a movie, and they're having their meeting on Zoom.
Oh, yes, yes.
So I rewrote it for that. So it's like I said, okay. And any shots I have to do, like with them separately, it will be 1 or 2 actors, and it'll be very safe. So it's a way to blend the two together.
That's the kind of projects that I think are going to be in swing faster than, I mean, the show that I was working on that got shut down before we started shooting had big party scenes and a nightclub scene and basketball games going on in a full arena, and they've pushed off till probably not shooting before January because there's just no way. Yeah,
they'll probably extend because with the green screen, because I know now this is just me, one person doing green screen, and I've seen some of those movies that I did not know were green screened, and a friend of mine sent me a documentary on it, and I go, oh my God, I watched that movie and did not know it was green screen. So I think the technology is going to expand because
it's funny you should say that.
Yeah, because they can blend it in that you really won't even be able to tell. So they're going to probably create new software and new apps to even expand it.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I was just, the Directors Guild has a thing called Digital Day every year. And yesterday they had several seminars about the LED walls that are, you can have them 4K, 8K, and it's like a whole wall that is a background. Like you can, and it used to be if you would shoot a driving shot and you would do a process shot where the background would be playing out the window, you could only shoot it with green screen and then they'd put it in later. So the actors never knew what it looked like that they were driving around. They just had to play everything against green screen. And then later on in post-production, they'd put in the streets going by. Well, now you can play it real time while you're shooting. You can play the background so that the actors can see, you can shoot a moving train and that's not really moving and actually see outside the windows while you're shooting. So you see what it's going to look like on the screen. I mean, the technology is amazing. And I think you're absolutely right. There's just all kinds of possibilities.
They'll kick it up.
Yep.
You can't keep the creative people down. That's my theory about, I wanted to ask you too, now you're an award-winning photographer. What was your award for? What was that about?
Actually, I absolutely love 3D still photography.
Oh, I've never done that. I'm so jealous.
I love it. And I joined the 3D stereoscopic club, and the programs they have, or anybody who's interested in 3D should join this club because every time they have just wonderful programs. And every other month they have a competition, and you send in your photographs. And I've won awards several times through them. Provide opportunities for creativity. But I did just direct a short film. I was hired to direct a short film called Ladies Most Deject. And that's a line from Shakespeare. And it's a story about 4 siblings in Appalachia whose mother is a meth addict, and they're just doing whatever they can to get by. And as I say, I was hired to direct this, but the people on it were so wonderful. And it was such an opportunity to tell an important story. And we've been in, I think, 35 film festivals now, and we've won 19 awards, something like that.
So that's really making the circuit. So is it able to be seen any place other than, or is it still going and it's not yet?
It's still going the festival circuit. There were several festivals we were supposed to be in just as everything shut down. So those are pending. I'm hoping that once it's really had the final run, that it'll have.
Marty, what I would like to do, what are a couple of ways, because I'm going to put links in here, that people can reach you if they want to reach out to you for a directing gig or to talk more about you or the projects or as an actress? What are the best ways to reach you?
Well, I've got ways to reach me through my website. It's the directing is martyelcan.com.
Okay.
And my agent or manager, I guess she used to be my agent, she became a manager, is still on there. And you can also contact me directly, or martyelcanactress.com. I have a way to link me there. Also, I think I mentioned to you, I created a sign language series called Shut Up and
Yes, I
Sign.
saw that. Thank you for bringing that up. That is amazingly creative.
And it sold all over the country. That series, I wanted to learn sign language, and every single video I saw was just horribly boring. I couldn't find one that made me want to learn. And then I took a class with this crazy actor named Bob Hilterman, who is not only, he's an actor, an entertainer, and an educator. And he was so crazy, and the class was so popular that I teamed up with him, and we made this sign language series called Shut Up and Sign. And that's Shut Up and Sign, all spelled out, .com. And,
I love the music one. I was loving the music.
Oh, great.
One. They were all
Right. Yes, exactly.
And, yeah. So that's on your directing reel.
Well, no, that's a separate web.
Well, Marty, I'm so sorry our time is up, but I have enjoyed speaking with you so much. You're amazing. And when you are involved in another project that you'd like to promote or talk about, please reach out to me and we can do this again, because I've enjoyed this so much.
Oh, well, thank you. Let's hope that there are lots of projects to talk about soon.
I know there will be, as technology's changing. You're a lady that's going along with it, so we'll be fine. Well, you have a lovely day.
You too.
Thank you. Now, everybody, make sure that you take care, keep laughing, and protect your immune systems. Bye, Marty.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.